JJ, what's up there, young man? What's going on?
Beautiful day in the Napa Valley. A little cool this morning, but a lot of frosty acres on the car, but it's beautiful.
Looks like you're in gold ball hunting, mobile, Northern California.
Yeah, somewhere in Northern California, coming to you live.
Okay, all right, good. Well, it sounds like you got a pretty good internet connection there. So, guys, hey, thanks for hanging out with us today, goldballhunting.com. I'm Brent Abel. This is Jeff Jacklich. And we are sharing the good stuff from our past, some stories about being players and also about coaching, the good stuff, and sometimes not so much the good stuff.
Right.
And kind of coughing up those hairballs where we, couldn't figure something out, or just like Mr. Stowe used to say to me sometimes, is it really this tough? And I go, God, no, it's fine. I'm fine. It's all good.
Right.
It's all good. So we're doing that. So that's the reason for this podcast, and we are publishing a daily episode. You can pick it up on iTunes or over at YouTube and I think other audio publishing platforms as well. And the way we're trying to help you guys is three ways. Number one is through this platform of podcasting every day, but there are two ways. Number one is we are offering, at the time of this recording, a complimentary, a free, a no charge on us 10-minute coaching call where it's a private call. It is free. Three of us get in the phone, me, you, and Jeff. And we're working on that one thing that right now you are struggling with in your game. You've been trying to figure this thing out for a while, and you're just not making the headway that you want. Whether it's a do-it-yourselfer, you're trying to figure out the game on your own,
Yep.
which we'll try to convince you that maybe there's a better way to do that. And maybe you are trying to figure it out with a coach or a teaching pro, and you guys are stuck. And so what we want to do is with this 10-minute call, see if we can't help you solve that riddle. The way to get on that call is to go over to goldballhunting.com/call, CALL. And you can pick out a time with our online schedule. Pick out a day and a time that works best for you, and we'll get her done. The other way is Jeff and I have recorded a private video to help you reduce your skill level range. Your skill level range is that here's the top of your level, and maybe you played up there last week. Maybe it wasn't the whole match, but man, you were up there for the most of the day, and then yet you came out the next day and you were down here. And
right.
So really the way you build confidence with your game is having a very small skill level range where that day in and day out you can depend that you're going to bring your, maybe not your A+ game, but at least your A- game day in and day
right.
out, and and knowing that the B stuff, the B-, God, the C+ stuff that's all past history. Once you can do that, and we want to show you how to do it in a private video that we've recorded. Once you do that, that's when you build true confidence. And once you got a small skill level range, if your desire is to start to move up to the next rating label, whatever it is, that's when you can do it, is when you have a small skill level range. The way to get that video, it's private, but it's free, is go to goldballhunting.com, first name, email address, and you'll get access to it. So, Jeffrey, today's your day where I'm going to put you on the hot seat, man. And this is kind of what we do every day, is Jeff one day puts me in the hot seat, which was yesterday. Thank you very little. And and today's my day to put Jeff on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna put my hot glasses on to receive the question. I got the reds on today, man.
You got the reds on, and show me the sides. They're.
Oh, I got the wood.
Yes, very stylish. Very stylish.
Come on.
It's kind of like your tennis game. Very smooth, very stylish.
Okay, yeah.
Not a care in the world. If I win today, no big deal. If I lose, here we go. Another smooth passing shot.
Give me the little massage now before you hit me with a question.
Yeah. So here's a question for you today.
All right.
And it's happened to me, and I know vividly when it happened and who it was, and that person shall remain nameless. But you're just starting to learn how to play as it could be in your case, you learned to become a good player way before I did. I didn't learn until I was in my senior senior stuff.
Right.
But you learned sooner, and then you had a gap in between when you played juniors, you played JC, you played D1, then you went out on the tour and played, and then you had a different career. You got into the
Right.
contracting career, then you came back to tennis. I'm curious more if between that time you'd kind of felt how to deal with this situation when you came back. Maybe you sort of already knew how to deal with it. But you're out there and you're playing, and
I'm like this, man.
yeah, you ought to be backing up on this one. And all of a sudden, you get to set point. It's a close match. It's a close match. You get to set point, and you come in, and it's 5-4, 40-30, and you come in, you serve, you take that forehand volley, and you hit that thing about 6 inches inside the baseline of the sideline over there. It's not on the line. It's inside the line, and the guy goes, "Nope, just missed, Jeff." Was there ever a time, because there was for me, was there ever a time where you just went, "What? What?" And
Wait a minute.
and
Yeah.
it completely blew your mind to where maybe you know how to handle that situation now, but then when it happened,
Yeah.
you didn't, and you went nuclear, and ended up losing the frickin' match because you didn't know how to handle that situation.
Yeah. Gosh, how many do you want me to name, right? In that laundry list of experiences, right? Wow.
And again, not where you know now. And look, we never know
No, right.
now.
I mean, in every phase of my career, from junior to junior college ball, D1, playing the tour, in every facet, and now even playing the seniors, that moment happens. So let's be clear about that to everybody. There is no escaping that moment, no matter where you are on the rung of talent, skill set, whatever your rating is, your ranking. I see it at every level. I've seen matches, gold ball matches in the 50s, where guys were, barely speaking halfway in through the first set because there was this tension and calls were being made, and it was just like a no handshake at the end of the match, and these are respected guys, right? And even they were having this. So yeah, there's no escaping it. No matter what your level is, you're going to have this happen. But for me, yeah, wow, which I'm going to start crying, right? Emotionally, like, oh man. For me, I'm going to say, junior college was really probably the most heightened part of my career, because I was just starting to cross that threshold. I was definitely maturing as a player.
Probably not as a human, but as a player.
Not as a human, but as a player, yes. Still an idiot personally, but as a player, but maturing. Luckily, I was surrounded by great players at the time, and under NorCal legendary coach Rich Anderson. And there was I'm going to say it was a challenge match, and that was serious stuff. Because this was about trying to make the team. No one just made the team. Even if it was like kind of known who was going to be number one, probably everybody had to play challenge matches. And Rich had a full chart spreadsheet, who played who, blah, blah, blah. And he set them up. It wasn't, challenge somebody. He set up all the matches. And that first season being there as a freshman, and everybody's a walk-on. It's a junior college in NorCal. There's no scholarships, but everybody flooded into Woodside to be on that team, or to try to be on that team. And so just day one, walking out there to the first day of practice, I'm walking out there going, the voice in my head is going, "Oh my God, Jeff, you're an idiot."
Look at these guys.
You're an idiot. Those 4 guys are all nationally ranked, or were nationally ranked in the age group above you, going through the juniors. those three guys are nationally ranked in the age group you came out of just now. Let's see, those three guys are just state ranked higher than you in the age group that you just came out of, right? And those three guys are foreigners. I don't even know what language they're speaking, and they look better than me, right?
So you're doing the calculation, going, well, wait, there's only 6 spots to play singles, and already it looks like I'm at best number 15.
Yeah, on a 12-man squad.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And so, practice starts and you're training and you're doing all this stuff. And, it could have been my second or third, challenge match and playing a guy, who shall remain nameless. And, just like you said, things were rolling along pretty good. And then, here comes the call. And there was no question, absolutely no question, whether it was just an honest mistake or not. It was a clean, abrupt call.
100% hook.
To not end the match. To not end the match. I mean, because that's what that is. That's just, this match isn't over yet.
Right.
And unfortunately, for everybody out there, there is no going back. There's no going backwards. That kind of moment is, the call is never going to be changed. You can say, "Are you sure?" in every language you can think of, and the conversation is already over. And so it was just like just somebody reaching into my gut and just stealing me. It was horrific. And I can't even say that like I broke down, really, because I was still in this phase of my career, budding career, where I was a nice guy. And so I kind of just moved through it. It kind of delirious, like I didn't know what to do, but I also didn't allow myself at that moment, in that part of my education, to kind of show my anger at my opponent. It was the following year in challenge matches that I actually crossed that line, and it was a legendary moment in my own, we talked about a big moment for you yesterday, and playing wise, the following year was a big moment for me, as a player, to stand up for myself. So that was a year still to come. So this was still in the infancy of that, understanding that. And I just fell apart after that. It was just, I had nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't recover mentally, emotionally. I was just a mess. So.
Well, no, it's a lousy I mean, for me, when it happened, I became just so disillusioned with what am I doing out here? I mean, I'm hanging out with guys who would do something like this.
Right.
I don't want to be around these people. And the same thing that you said, it's like this, the call that the guy made against me was, I mean, literally 6 inches inside the line. There's no way that he actually missed the call.
Right.
And so for me, it was, and I got angry. I mean, my response was, I got angry. I said, you can't do that. I said, you can't do that. And he just kind of went, well, sorry, but the ball was out.
Right.
And I'm just going, and I had the same epiphany. I said, well, there's nothing I can do. I can't do it. It's over. Even if I go get the umpire, the referee, they're going to come back and say, well, I didn't see it, so the call is out, so it's deuce. And I just, it's like 5-4, 40-30, set point. I'm not sure I won another game. I went completely, and I just, but like you did a year later, I just, all of a sudden, I dug in my heels and I said, I'm going to go hunt this guy down. I am going to go hunt this guy down. And I went into hyper training mode because I actually knew I was going to play him in some event coming up in about 3 months. And so I just went into the tunnel vision was insane. And you know,
Right.
anyone around me for the next 90 days was going, okay, man, I'll steer clear of you. I can see.
Yeah.
And so I played this guy the next time, and I was so wound up. I was so fired up. I mean, I was, like my eyes were doing like this. You know, I lost the first two games, and I finally said, all right, man, you got to calm down. And I won the next 12. And I remember you know, I wanted to embarrass this guy. I wanted to, you know, I was pissed at myself that I lost the first two games, and he was a good player. He
Yeah.
was a good player, and I'll tell you who this guy was. You know, once we stop recording, but and it just yeah, and it's kind of interesting how we have these moments, and like you said in the beginning, you can't get away from it in the game of tennis. If you're going to be competitive,
Yeah.
you're going to run into it with any gender, with any skill level, whether it's tournaments, leagues, or even at your comfy confines of the Berkeley
Right.
Tennis Club. You're going to find guys or gals who hook
Right.
you. And I'm not talking about the ones where it's a tight call and they're not sure.
Right.
And we all miss calls from time to time. You know, we think a ball's out. And if we had shot spot or Hawkeye, whatever, you know, would show that the ball actually nicked the line. So
Right.
it's sort of an honest mistake. I mean, I go more now with, you know, if I don't see the ball this far out, it's good because I don't trust my eyes the way that I used to.
Right.
But it's going to happen at all those different levels, and how you respond. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, it is 1 point. It is just 1 point. And if you're serving at 5-4 and you got to add in and you play the volley and you think it was good and the guy calls it out, it's deuce. It is
Yeah.
deuce. If you're at a tournament or if you're at a league thing and the guy does it again, then yeah, just my way of doing it now is I just say, you know, I think you've missed the last two calls. Let's get some help. I don't
Right.
accuse the guy of cheating. I don't accuse the guy of anything intentional,
Right.
even though I know this guy's got this huge reputation of cheating. But I'm
Right.
not gonna put myself at that level because it takes
Right.
me out of my game, and I'm gonna just go.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go to the tournament director. I'm gonna go to whoever's the captain of the league thing and just say, we need some help. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say this guy's cheating me. This guy's hooking me. I'm gonna say we need some help. And
Right.
and
That's really
usually,
critical.
that usually just kind of clears it up for me. That's the way to handle it. Maybe for you it's different. Maybe for someone else they have another way of doing it. But I know myself that I could go ballistic if I thought someone was cheating me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I take myself out of the match, and
Right. I
I
think
don't
it's
wanna do
really it's critical to understand your own. And this is for everybody. We all have, just like we all have our own skill set, and we all have our personality and how we employ that skill set, right? So on the tennis part of it, and then emotionally, you know, we all have our own tendencies too. You know, and tennis is one of those beautiful sports that really exposes who you are. But in this little particular thing, I talk to my players about this, like, be careful the question you ask, because what are you engaging in? If you ask the wrong question, then you're engaging in a conversation that they want to be in, that your opponent wants to be in, because they know now that they've drawn you out. And you are no longer in the tennis match. You are in your little emotional world, angry that someone cheated you,
right,
or you think they did,
right,
right?
right.
And now what happens is you have this lengthy conversation and nothing gets resolved. The call stands and you go back. The score is what it is. And now they seem to move forward and play fine. And you're an emotional wreck now for the next 2-3 games. Maybe you recover from it, maybe you don't. You know, so I always coach my players to say, you know, if you're going to engage, treat that engagement as an extra point in the game. So you have to be in control of that conversation. Because if you're not, you're going to lose that point, that emotional point, and which is then going to carry into the other points in the game or the set. So sometimes if I think the guy's really, like, you know, like, yeah, okay, you've cry. If I think he's crossed the line, I'll never ask whether he's sure of his call, because I know what the answer is, and it's a ridiculous question in my view, right? So what I'll ask him is, if I think he's yanking me, we're gonna yank now. I'm gonna draw him out now, and I'm gonna say, what I do is I say, are you confident with that call? And he'll say, no, I thought it was out. That's not what I asked. Are you confident with that call? And so I want to make him stop and engage with me now. So now I'm the one in control of the conversation. And so then I can turn around from that. I know the call is not going to change. But now I've drawn him out. I know this is a little bit of gamesmanship we're talking about here.
Right.
But it's a moment where I need to stand up for myself, what I feel in that moment in the match. And so now the challenge is, okay, because I won the conversation, I'm in control of my emotions, I get to get back to tennis faster than him. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So when I go back, I'm good. I get back in and let's engage and let's see whose tennis is going to win the day here. So anyway, that's just, a little extra there on the maturity of a player and where you end up with it, after having those experiences that you lose the match from just being an emotional wreck and actually understanding your own emotions and being able to control the moment.
Hey, look, the way you react to something like that, especially in a tight match, and that's what we're talking about, is we're talking about a really close match, and you could react by getting upset because you don't trust that even if this guy was totally fair, you don't trust that on that day in this really tight, close match that you can close it out. So it actually becomes an opportunity for you to start building a story that if you lose match, if you lose the match, that you now can tell your buds or yourself, well, I got hooked, and the guy cheated me. So, I like what you said, Jeff, about don't ask a question, and that's the way that I handle it now. When the guy hooks me once, if it's egregious, if it's just horrible, I will just say, we need to get some help. That's it. And now I'm taking charge of the situation, and I will stop the match, and I'll go to the tournament director, the referee, or if there's a captain of the league match, and say, we need some help. And if it's a really tight call, I will, if it's tight, but it looks like I'm not sure. And again, as I've gotten older, I'm not sure because there certainly have been times when I've hit a shot and boy, to me it looks good, and I'll look over, the guy calls it out, and I'll have a friend over there, or Mara will be sitting over there, and I'll look over there and she'll go, yeah, it was out. And I'll go, wow, man, I guess I really can't trust, and so. And some of that too is built on the fact that we know that there are players out there who've got reputations, that they don't make the most accurate calls, and so
we call that they call a tight court.
Yeah, and so it can get inside your head that anytime there's a close call that you don't trust it. So that's good. That's good. Well, guys, I hope this has helped a little bit on those situations, and. We ought to do another podcast on that player that's always questioning your calls.
Oh, I tell you what, that's part of that, exactly.
So we'll save that for another episode. But guys, until then, if this topic kind of rung true with you, and you want to get some help on it, you want to do a deeper dive on it, at least a 10-minute thing, we can offer that free coaching call to you, a 10-minute call, or anything else you want to talk about in your game. Whatever's going on, whether it's mental, whether it's technique, whether it's strategy, shot patterns, whatever, or you've got that doubles partner that just doesn't quite get it. Let's get on on that complimentary 10-minute coaching call. The way to schedule that is go to goldballhunting.com/call, CALL, and you'll get hooked up with our online scheduler to find a date that works for you, a date and time that works for you, and we'll do that call. In the meantime, Jeff, what would we like the viewer, the listener, to do right now?
Like us, share us, subscribe to us, and please let us know down below what you think, and any comments. Great.
Terrific. Guys, hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Good to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeffrey, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.